People who got caught having sex at work, what happened? They were a married couple but both employees. They got caught screwing at the Christmas party. Nothing happened for a few weeks, then they both got fired because they were collecting the gym membership stipend but couldn't show proof of attendance. Pretty sure that was the first and only time the company enforced the stipend rule. Based on what we all saw at the Christmas party, both haven't been hitting the gym as often as you say you are. There was a girl who had sex with some employees for pay. When caught, they transferred her to another building and took some minor disciplinary action against all involved. Then she did it again at the new building, so they transferred her back. Couple years had passed, so no old clients in her area. Then she did it again. Third time was the final straw to get her fired. This woman was taking home a 2 days paycheck for 1 day worth of work. I didn't know I couldn't do that. I worked with a guy at my previous job who was a night security guard for the main facility. Very smart guy but had tons of self-destructive behavior when he was doing well. He was caught on camera entering an office with a night janitor, and she confessed that they had been having sex at work. When confronted, he admitted to having sex with her, and they said that he would be terminated. He agreed but first asked them to show him where it explicitly said in the company policy that having sex on company grounds was prohibited. He had already reviewed the company policy and knew he had a claim of potential wrongful termination, and they did as well. Soon after, we had an updated corporate policy release with some clarification on what was considered appropriate work behavior. The guy actually stayed with the company for years and went on to work in manufacturing, where he was terminated for more self-destructive behavior. Edit. Several asked for other stories, so I'll share a few of the ones I recall and aren't too personal to him. Once he reached just beyond the city limits, large city, to a decent-sized river/creek. Was shooting a sawed-off shotgun into the water when the police came after numerous complaints. He had all the license required to duck hunt and could legally hunt there, but the officers had to talk him into moving to a safer location. He was not hunting at all. The other story I recall was him driving a tiny front loader at work that a third-party contractor had brought in for the day. He ended up effing something up and then using the safety policy against the company as a way to protect himself. I can't recall the exact reasoning behind this one, but we all thought it was the end for him, but he managed to work himself out of it. Nothing. They said sorry and closed the walk-in door. Restaurants are a weird and wacky world. 10-year pizza restaurant veteran. Can confirm. Lots of young, stressed out, overworked people who don't have time to develop social relationships outside of the kitchen. They're chained to 45 hours a week. Add in the fact that many restaurants have lax enforcement of literally every rule they're supposed to have, and that so many restaurant employees are college kids or early 20s college dropouts that are still attractive and cool, and that so many restaurants serve alcohol to their staff at a discount, frequently on the clock, and you've got a perfect storm. A perfect, sweaty, dramatic, foolish, horny storm. Edit. Also drugs. Boss was caught screwing 5 different women at the hotel I worked at. He was fired, with a long investigation. Sure explained why the dude was always late leaving, had to catch up for how much effing he did. I was caught by my boss's boss, going at it with my boss. He threw his binder down on the ground to get our attention. Then he left, and we broke apart, then just finished the shift. I was so sure we were both going to get fired. I was a nervous wreck the whole day. In the end, he decided to not tell anyone and not to fire us. He just asked me if it was consensual, which it was, and lectured me on how inappropriate that was. Obviously I agree. He also said he wished us a happy relationship, laughing out loud. Scariest and most awkward day at work of my life. Never again. I see the supervisor sometimes and I know it's obviously something we'll both never forget. I have respect for someone who makes sure a lower employee, or anyone, isn't being taken advantage of. Good on him. I plant trees for a living and hire over 30 20-somethings and send them into remote areas for days at a time. Often I set up trail cameras to track progress and get cool time-lapse shots and also wildlife pics. On more than a few occasions I've seen photos of staff walking off together and one glorious blowjob shot perfectly framed. I delete the photos and don't make a big deal of it. If it doesn't impact their tree numbers, I just consider them on break. Most of the time they are paid per tree planted, so it's up to them how much time they want to plant versus F. How would someone get into this? Edit. Jesus effing Christ, you horny bastards, I am asking about trees. Planting a different sort of seed. I used to work at the county jail, and we hired a new officer that worked the cage. The cage control room is semi-private and has control of unlocking doors so no one can walk in without the cage operator pushing a button. She was in an open marriage and put out for just about anyone. She got caught when 8 officers got the clap. A few spouses, who got the clap from their cheating husbands, complained to the sheriff, and she was fired. Demotions, suspension and firings of other male officers followed after an internal investigation. When 8 people or more get the clap, it's called a round of applause. Am I right? Not me. But my ex-boss snorted coke in our bathroom before sucking off a customer in our parking lot, came back in and boasted to us that she got free weed from this guy. A week later, fired. She's still engaged to her fiancé, not the customer. Shaking my head, can't believe a bussiness would fire an employee so devoted to customer satisfaction. I never have, but I can tell you that entire company-wide design decisions have been made for Amazon fulfillment centers to help curb such actions. For example, all janitor closets are required to have half-glass doors. Worked for Amazon UK. Caught one of the reps having a threesome on the top floor of the tower with 2 blokes. Caught a security guard having sex in his car with another worker. Found a used silicone butt vagina sex toy in the bathroom absolutely soaked in jizz. Worked there like 3 months. Oh my god. That's disgusting. Where in the UK? And are there any positions available? Yes, doggy and reverse cowgirl are currently open. My math teacher M got caught having sex with my English teacher F on the school printer in the conference room. He got the name printer Effer. Edit. The German word for printer is Drucker. So the name Druckerficker sounds a lot better in my native language. Not me, but 2 co-workers at a small family restaurant got caught having sex in the bathroom when the owner literally opened the door on them because they didn't lock it. The girl was bent over the sink, and they were watching themselves in the mirror. He slammed the door shut, and when they came out a few minutes later, panicky and shamefaced, he yelled at them, "If you're going to do that, you clock out first." While the rest of us laughed our asses off. Small family restaurant. Oh. What are you doing, step cook? Original poster replies, skull, 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 sounds like the best manager ever. Worked retail in college. We were in the stock room, clothes mostly still on, when the shift manager came in. Had her up against some fitted shirts. Me and her were written up and sent home. They interviewed us separately the next day. We lied about not having a relationship, so they wouldn't transfer one of us. Looking back, I'm actually pretty surprised we weren't fired. Good employees in retail can get away with a lot. Years ago when I worked a retail job, I could be a little crap. Argumentative, did things how I wanted to do them, etc. I think the only reason I never got in trouble is because I was one of the few employees that always showed up on time, my work was good, and I had positive customer feedback. I think most managers would rather deal with an employee that is a pain in the butt but does the job well. Co-worker and manager got caught. He got transferred, and she started hitting on me, and everyone else. It was awkward, but they were both adults, man shrugging. Not necessarily on duty but at work. Used to work on cruise ships and crew occasionally get cabin inspections. My girlfriend/co-worker and I were doing the deed in the morning when we hear a knock and the phrase cabin inspection in an authoritative British accent which we knew was the ship's captain. I managed to grab all my clothes and run to the restroom. My girlfriend straightened out the room and managed to stall the captain and prevent him from checking the bathroom. She told me that I forgot the used condoms on the floor, and she managed to step on them to hide them with her bare feet. I owed her big time. I used to work in fast food, and a manager got caught having sex with an employee. They were going to just transfer him, but they realized that the employee was 17, manager was 24, so he was fired. The employee quit because they thought it would keep the manager from being fired. I quit a few weeks later for unrelated reasons. Edit: half the comments are asking if we worked at the same place. One, it is scary how many places this has happened to. I worked at a Taco Bell. He was her usual ride, he. I worked at Whole Foods. A man and wife worked together and the wife was 6 months pregnant. One day the wife goes out to their shared car during a lunch break and lo and behold, inside their car her husband is just banging away with another WF employee, someone much younger. I've never seen the entire store come together like a family as they did that day in support of the pregnant wife. Edit: the husband and wife stayed together, against everyone's advice, and the young lady he cheated with quit work. Cheating on his pregnant wife? What the goddamn crap is wrong with people? Not just that, which is incredibly stupid and crafty, but doing it at work? When you work with your wife? In a place that is like 50% glass? They started dating immediately after and now they're moving in together. The boss gave no F's about it either, laughing out loud. I was a whitewater raft guide 10 years ago. We would party at the area where we stacked our rafts at night at our boathouse. We slept in tents nearby. One thing led to another and my girlfriend at the time and I got it on top of a stack of rafts under the stars, quite drunk. The boathouse manager lived in a small apartment with an upstairs window directly adjacent to this stack of rafts. We would be introduced to our tours by him each day with fun little anecdotes. Like, this is James, best river guide west of the Mississippi. So the next day, after saying nothing to us, he is introducing us and goes, "Okay, now your guide is going to be Chelsea the Screamer." With a pointed look at us. She looked like she saw a ghost, then laughed it off. No further repercussions beyond the call-out and a bit of laughs. It was a laid-back environment though. Edit: holy crap, I just got back from field work to all the replies, thanks for the awards. I'm glad people found my experience entertaining. I was an engineer at a company. A couple were fired for having sex in his car in the parking lot. Our company was one of the biggest CCTV manufacturers in the world. I designed camera control systems. Our parking lot was also used to test product, and had one of the highest camera per square foot ratio of any parking lot, anywhere. Our cameras had amazing zoom capabilities. This just never occurred to these two brainiacs. Management insisted that we delete all footage. Edit: to clarify, these were not engineers. They were support. Maybe they had an associate degree, but I doubt it. The parking lot is company property. Company handbook and sexual harassment training both say not on company property. Also, strongly implied is not with the company name. Edit: to clarify my first edit, people in the comments were assuming the couple were engineers. So I answered that. Now people are being offended that I cleared this up. Oh Reddit, you have to invent reasons to be offended. Enhance. Sort of work but more like university/work. We worked as lab assistant/TA kind role, and after we finished grading assignments in the classroom section of the lab every Wednesday night, her and I would have sex on one of the desks. There were 10 desks and 10 weeks left in the semester, so we thought we would take advantage of the privacy and give us an excuse to grade quizzes/tests/work sets as fast as possible and have sex on a different desk every week. The last week we were effing on the last desk. The professor shows up with food thanking us for being so much more dedicated than all her other assistants in all her years teaching. She see us with the chick sitting on the desk with her legs spread wide and me facing her thrusting standing up. Professor says, "Well, this explains a lot, don't get pregnant." She left the food and left, locking the door on the way out. We finished, ate the food, and had sex again. Best professor ever? Not even a question. Edit: aw, thanks for all the upvotes Reddit. 5,000 upvotes for a poorly written sex story without any ridiculous pornographic language feels high. And for the people giving this story the wholesome award. You are the real heroes. Edit. As to the helpful awards. Don't know how this award applies, but I am glad I could help. College job in an office. Janitor walked in on me and another intern furiously banging it out with zero remorse in an empty conference room. Only repercussion is that now I get to marry her in a month. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.